It's everything is in context, yeah. I'll explain the context a little later. I'll just tell you what I'm talking about first. So what happens is that when the person starts to rise spiritually, and the person has not, let's just say, purified properly, what happens is that the vices in the system, character vices, they also start to grow, increase, and multiply. It is my humble understanding is I think it's very common because many people in the world have started to grow spiritually. Even though they may not be meditating, they may not be practicing, but it is very widespread and very noticeable. Ki there are people who are growing spiritually and much faster also. Some of them are doing great services, running NGOs. Some of them are doing like they are teaching for free. Any activities like this which involve powerful concentration, service to people, that they somehow very rapidly fuel spiritual growth, even though they may realize it or not, it's happening. Now, the reason I'm telling this to you right now is because they're not consciously purifying themselves. Objectively speaking, they're just doing their work, right? And they're wanting to do the work to the best of their ability. Some people are running environmental projects for serving environments, for saving animals, whatever work they're doing, right? It's all a benefit to humanity, benefit to life in general. All of this leads to greater, faster, rapid spiritual growth. Now, many of these people who are doing this work are unconsciously coming in touch with the soul. They're not actively trying for it, but it's happening in the background. Um, with having said that, many of these people who don't know this aspect, they're not practicing conscious purification. मतलब वो अपने anger पे काम नहीं कर रहे हैं. They're not working on their laziness is not the word applicable. Anger or the irritation aspects or manipulation aspects, they're what they are, right? Uh, so many of these vices may actually ego, yeah, exactly, ego, pride. Many of these vices will eventually tend to get magnified. Their excessiveness, their addictions, they may tend to get magnified in time. So you may find people, like our social teacher says, who are very virtuous in some areas, very worth giving example of, but likewise they have their own issues, their own problems. For example, I had a person who I met a few days back, very worthy person by the way, but he has problems of severe drug addiction actually. I mean, does a lot for the community beyond words. I have great praise for him, but addicted. And so I guess putting things in context, you will realize that the amount of work which is needed to be done to get all these vices off the system is not being performed. Eventually, because of which the, so uh, in another context, now if you're in touch with any of these people, for example, it could be your husband, it could be your wife, it could be your children, your in-laws. Also, some of these people have taken these initiatives in the past lifetimes. They have grown in the past lifetimes. Their power of thought, word, action is more than what it should be for any ordinary person. And their words hurt more, for example. Like other people's words, they don't hurt as much as some people's words. They really hurt. Now, one of the ways, of course, to understand that the hurt is longer or long-standing or it hurts so deep is because you allow somebody in your system deep enough that they can cause that hurt. For example, your parents, if they say something very bad to you or something very nasty, a comment or a silly comment, it can destroy you practically. Or your children who you've loved so much, they were a part of you or they are a part of you, right? They make some silly comment that stays with you for a very, very long time. Like some are 20, 30 years actually sometimes. People keep doubting that it's a good parent because of what their children said. I'm serious, it happens, yeah. Now, putting it in context, further in context, some of these people are they're able to hurt because you allow them in. Second category of people are who have tremendous power in their speech, in their thought, and their action. And this power is cultivated because of power of soul. It cannot be replicated by practice of any kind, huh? This is soul being really powerful. Whatever soul says, it enters very deeply, very, very deeply. And there's no way to prevent or defend it because it touches the innermost core of a person. And um, somehow the unhealed areas of your system, they respond very quickly to it somehow. Also, if the power is used for good, say cultivating confidence and faith and bringing out the virtue, if the same power of thought, speech, and action of the same person who's powerful is used, it can bring out tremendous amount of um, confidence out of a person. For example, this a person like this can be a powerful motivational speaker, as an example. A remarkable example is of a person who has brought out faith in oneself by just giving a proper speech at, say, a convocation. And people got so charged up just by the speech that they all achieved more than what they planned for the team, for example. This is possible when a person who's giving the speech is a very powerful channel. What I'm pointing to all this, or with all this, is you may be surrounded by people who you've let inside that they can affect you more, or it's possible that the people around you, or at least one or two of them, have gained certain degree of edge or advantage in terms of power because of their efforts of this or past incarnations, and they also exude that ability to injure or hurt more because they haven't purified themselves. And this is the whole context. Now, a very good learning, which is very important to carry forward in this life, is most people, which I also have to carry because people are everywhere are the same, right? Most people don't know what they're saying. I'll repeat it again. Most people who are giving nasty, silly comments are speaking from a window of their own experience, and that's that. They are not talking about you. They haven't walked your shoes. They don't know exactly how it feels like to say or do things. It's like, have you seen the movie called The Good Will Hunting? Yes. Some of you at least. Otherwise, it's a brilliant example. I don't want to go waste. Anyways, Good Will Hunting. It's an Oscar winner movie, by the way. I'd like you to watch it. It's one of the absolutely fantastic movies to wrap your head around. Um, in that, there is Robin Williams and then there's Matt Damon, right? Matt Damon gives a very nasty comment about Robin Williams' wife. It rings a very wrong bell inside. Maybe a bell of his own guilt, for example, or his own fear, for example. Very nasty, but very precise comment. And Robin Williams very beautifully says that eventually, second day or third day later, that you're just a kid, you haven't dealt with what I have dealt with, which means anybody can say anything to hurt you. That is okay, huh? By the way. People will continue saying no matter how much you grow. Even to Lord Buddha, somebody came and said you were nothing, for example. Lord Buddha is the Lord Buddha, for example. Now, having said this, it's just in context very, very important to understand. People will come and say things eventually, but nobody has walked your shoes. Nobody knows exactly what your challenges have been, what your struggles have been, what your aspects, what your perspectives has been. People don't know anything about you. They see situations from their angle only. This is what I want you to remember in situation that people are talking from their perspective, their angle. For example, a mother doesn't get angry over little children because they say, "Ki, you're not a good mother, you didn't give me food." No, you shut up, you sit there, I'll give you food. And then the mother brings the food, for example, right? This is this is almost like a key to not getting upset, key to not getting entangled. Remember that whatever people say, they're saying from their own perspective. And people can, some of them, including me, they have an ability to justify so articulately why what we say means a lot. Like, and justification in order to prove that what we are saying about you is the version of the truth. Sometimes it can be used to help. Like I try and use the articulation ability to help people see the problems better, more in a more clear light. Some people use it to oppress other people. Some people use it to dominate other people. Some people use it to cut people off from others to receive any help, for example. There are a lot of ways of using abilities or, to manipulate situations. There's no point talking about the bad aspects, but all in all, remember that people, when they comment about you or your life, they're commenting from their suffering, their trauma, their views, their opinions, their everything is about them. It has nothing to do about you. But yes, having said this, also please make sure that if there's any interesting piece of information that they are sharing with you, study it. Like a needle in the haystack, try to find that juice and develop. This is how my approach is. Is anything accurate inside of it? Um, Among the 50 things which were said, study it, absorb it, and inculcate it, like the change. Not because somebody's saying, but because you've identified that, yes, this portion among the whole thing seems to be true. I'll study it. And then the next day or the same evening, spend some time in investigating how true it actually is. Refer from your own experiences, like mix everything properly, integrate that change into your life, be that change. People will not, by the way, people will not stop commenting. So stop seeking validation from people's comments. That is not the best benchmark to see that you've changed. Sometimes change will be noticed. Sometimes people are the way they are. They will not. I mean, stop worrying too much about them, right? You please continue to do whatever you do, and be very confident in knowing the fact that people always, whenever they express anything, they're mostly, in most cases, expressing their own self. The picture is their own picture, their picture of their own experiences. Don't take it all the way to heart all the time. All right. And this is something which you have to remember. And the deeper it hurt, you have to analyze why did it hurt deeply. I've had to do it several times. Why did this, not even statement, this little statement, this little move like this, hurts, for example, me the most by a specific person at a specific time, at a specific level of vulnerability of mine. You have to really study these things of your own self. Why did this hurt you most at this point of time? Why not at other point of time, for example? What was the context? So the whole thing has to be really brought in, and you will grow like anything from there. Your self-confidence, your self-esteem will almost be untouchable after some time. You would have really built yourself. You know what I'm saying? While studying yourself. That's why it's there. The word uses self-realization and not self-knowledge only, like not knowing the words, but realizing oneself, because you studied so thoroughly that certain portions of it you were able to realize. All right. It's important to know because I keep getting requests that why do I get hurt? How do I work on myself? First, it's very important to know that people commenting, people hurting you are presenting their own viewpoint. There's nothing about you. So keep it like in mind. This is not about me. But yeah, in 20 things which was said, is anything important? Pick that up. That's all. Simple. Okay. Yeah. Let's start. Be aware of the heart and the crown chakra, the Supreme God, Divine Father, Divine Mother. Thank you for your priceless blessings, for your divine light, divine love, divine power, divine healing, guidance, mercy, help, and protection. Thank you. To our great spiritual teacher, to all the great spiritual teachers, to all the great gods and goddesses, to all the great, great ones, we very, very humbly thank you for your great blessings. We thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, be aware of the heart and the crown chakra. Say, Lord God, please verbalize, say, Lord God, thank you for filling my heart and my crown chakra with tremendous amount of love, energy, substance of love. Say, Lord God, thank you for filling my heart and my crown chakra with tremendous substance of love. Say, Lord God, thank you. Thank you for filling my heart and my crown chakra with tremendous substance of love. Thank you so much. Now be aware of the crown. Know the fact that you're a spiritual being while you do this exercise, a spiritual being which looks like a flame, a dancing flame. That is why the example is given as dancing Nataraja. Nataraja is nothing else but a dancing flame, the so called Shiva. That is why Shiva is substituted for the word flame so many times. You are the flame. Be aware of the crown. Imagine yourself as a flame. Mentally verbalize along. I am not the body. I am not the emotions or the thoughts. I am not the mind. The mind is just an instrument of the soul. I am the soul. Look at yourself, a smokeless flame, dancing, living life, learning, growing, sharing the warmth with other souls. Completely alive. Your radiance is so powerful. Say, my radiance is so brilliant. I, the soul, am connected and one with my higher soul. Imagine the small flame that you are going and merging with a very, 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 very big flame. I, the soul, am connected and one with my divine spark. Visualize this big flame going and merging in a giant lake of fire. Super, super giant lake of fire. I am connected and one with the Supreme God. All right. Gently be aware of the heart and the crown chakra. Say, Lord God, thank you for blessing me with awareness, with self honesty, and the will to transform myself. Lord God, thank you for blessing me with awareness and with self honesty and the will to transform myself. Again, Lord God, thank you for blessing me with awareness, with self honesty, and the will to transform myself. Thank you. Now, we will do the forgiveness for the specific class of people that we studied today. It's There are people who you will find are more powerful and have more influence over your thinking. We will do forgiveness specifically for those people. Yeah, today it's a specific class of people. You may have dealt with them, you may have found way to brush them aside, but it's intelligently deal with them today. Yeah, raise your hands. Be aware of the heart and the crown chakra. Imagine one of those people in front of you. They have the power of speech. You have the power of love. Put a tremendous amount of love on this beautiful soul. Just because they hurt you, that does not mean that they're bad people. Okay, definitely, absolutely keep it in mind. It's your perspective and your perspective only. Project tremendous amount of love to this beautiful, beautiful soul. Say, Lord God, Supreme God, please make me a humble, humble instrument. Project tremendous amount of love, powerful love to all these souls, to this beautiful soul in front of you, and ask the soul to absorb the blessing. Absorb, 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 absorb completely. And then say, beautifully, confidently say that in this incarnation you may have specific abilities of articulating your logic very clearly. It may seem that you're more clear about what you think, what you say. It may also appear that you have more ability or more power in your speech and in your thoughts. But thank God for all of these abilities. And then say, I bless you with so much love that you learn to use these to uplift people and not to put them down. I bless you with so much love that you learn to raise people from their low times and never to use these skills or abilities to put anybody in a state of low confidence. For all the hurt and all the injury that you've given to me, I now understand that most of it was your perspective. Most of it was your own limitations of seeing other people. Your limitation of seeing me does not define me. Talk directly to the person, by the way. Said your limitation to see the bigger picture does not define me. It is possible that part of what you said was true. Very beautifully project love and say it's possible that a part of what you said was true. Or in some cases, maybe the whole of what you said was true. and I will definitely think over it because it's for my own benefit. And for that, I sincerely thank you. I very, very sincerely thank you. May God bless you with tremendous abundance. Good luck, easy learning, and may God make you an instrument to serve the divine in a more holistic manner. You are completely forgiven from my side. You are completely forgiven from my side. I have nothing against you. Completely, completely forgiven from my side. So be it. May God's love, mercy, and healing be with you and with your near and dear ones. Thank you for giving valuable contribution in my life. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Atma Namaste, go away in peace. Thank you. Or if you want to stay in peace. Thank you. Also say, please forgive me also. Be aware of the heart and the crown. Project love and say, please forgive me also. I would have criticized you. I would have verbally, mentally hurt you. I would have resisted your approach to help me. I humbly invoke for your forgiveness. Please forgive me. 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 And then perfectly say, God's blessings be with you. And God's blessings be with me. I also forgive myself for losing my calm, for losing my patience, for getting angry, for getting upset. It's a learning journey. I forgive myself. I am an equally beautiful child of God as anybody else is in this world, no matter what the mind tells me. My worth is almost absolutely equal to everybody else in existence. The whole of existence. Nobody values more than I do, nobody values less than I do. It is a truth. So be it. Closing invocation to the Supreme God, Divine Father, Divine Mother, thank you for your great blessings. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you to our great spiritual teacher, to all the great spiritual teachers, to all the great gods and goddesses, to all the great, great ones. We incredibly humbly thank you for your great blessings. Thank you. All right, take care. Atma Namaste. See you. I hope there was some learning also from this. Yeah, take care. Thank you so much. Apply this, by the way. Very important to apply the fact that when people they hurt or criticize you, they're talking from their own viewpoint of their own sufferings, of their own traumas, of their own ordeals, has less to do with you. And you will see the very clever use of logic also. If they're smart, they will very cleverly use logic to manipulate what they want you to believe. It's just weird after a while. Take care. God bless you all. See you tomorrow. Bye bye. Have a nice day. Happy Guru Nanak Jayanti, by the way. Happy Guru Nanak Jayanti to all of you. Yeah. See you. Bye bye.